There. I'm back later than usual, but always on time. Now let's talk about it for a minute. The NBA Cup, right, has always been something that we've known for the. It's only his third year in existence, and if they take a poll right now, the polls have not been good. But this isn't about the actual idea itself, okay? Because we know the NBA does not care anything about what the fans actually think. No, 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 no. That's too easy. By the way, please hit the like button. It's your boy Carcino here. So like it up, like it up, like it up, like it. You know you like it. Yeah, so definitely hit the like button. Appreciate you more than you know. Mm. um, oh yeah, I picked the Carolina Panthers this week. Plus 10. Because it was a bizarre week. I shouldn't have went so high on the Colts. That cost me. When you have a lot of instances that take place that a lot of people aren't really privy to, when they start looking at situations and say to themselves, oh, well, that looks pretty, or this looks exciting. People normally say that when it just go by the look. Like my mother, she looked at the court like, oh, those new NBA courts look nice. But you have to play on those courts. And that's where a problem, comes into play. And that's where the problem came into play for, you know, they came into play for the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh yeah, bro, we don't care. Nobody cares about the cup. You think that when have you ever heard, man, I want the Pistons to win the cup? We can care less about this thing here because one, it's stupid, but we know why they're doing it. They're doing it because of ratings. They need viewership. They need to feel like they need to copy what soccer is doing to bring it in. And it was like, see, the ratings are higher. The ratings are higher because you're focusing the interest more international by putting in more international players. So now the game is traveling more abroad with more European players that's from these people's countries actually tuning in to watch the games. That's why the ratings are starting to boost up. Has nothing to do with the quality and product of the game. But this is nothing about that right now. We're talking about the NBA Cup's floors. The Los Angeles Lakers played their cup game, and it looked like a regular season game. And I was like, this is a cup game? Because they didn't have the floor that they normally have when they play the game. Now, you might say, well, Well, how is that even possible? How could they play a game and the floor and everything else isn't different? That doesn't make any sense. You're right. It doesn't if you're somebody else who don't understand the politics of what's happening. See, the politics of what happens come in and start to change every time you come in and make an alteration to the rule itself. Yeah, now, hmm, yeah, so these people, they never got their just due. These people never got their just due. Yep, I'm in my office. Mom then took over my house. A lot of these people never got their, their proper respect, their proper due. Now, when you start seeing things come back full circle, the Los Angeles Lakers made this approach because they tried to practice on the new court, the new floor, and it was so slippery and the conditions were unplayable. And they said, well, we can't play in this. There's no way. It was too much risk of injury. So the NBA decided to pull it. Do you realize the New York Knicks, the Detroit Pistons, um, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Atlanta Hawks, who else? The Grizzlies, I think that was last year. The Grizzlies have all complained. I think the list is like 12 to 15 teams have complained. And their opponent, whoever they were playing that day, also was in agreement that the floor is unplayable. Most recently, the Detroit Pistons Boston Celtics game, they complained that this floor is unmanageable to play on, and that because of the colors that the other team is wearing, it's going with the floor. So players could easily get lost. It's hard to see the players when they're all wearing the same type of colors as the floor color. Players are getting lost in the shuffle, and it makes for a sloppy game. So a lot of these effects were taking place. Yeah, a lot of it had effect on the court and messing with people's vision on playing the game. Plus, the floor is slippery. Jalen Duran had about 5, 6 turnovers because he's losing his position on the floor because he has no traction. Now, everybody complained, even the Boston Celtics complained that, hey, this isn't right. And the more and more and that's who it was. It wasn't the Grizzlies. That was the Timberwolves that complained. I don't know who they played, but they both had a problem with the court. And this thing is not necessary. It is completely unnecessary. It was an idea that should have been scrapped after year one of the complaints. This is the third year, and the NBA continuously is doing the same thing over and over again. Then why are you here, sir? If the content is terrible. All right. See, he doesn't like information. So if you don't like information, then of course. But when the Lakers complain,
Courts, please. No, of course, it's just slippery, it's dangerous.
Could you tell pregame that you thought the court was?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a decal though, right? It was whatever reason it was.
I don't know, it was just, I slipped the right times, and you could see like a lot of players slip, and that's dangerous, man.
They're gonna change out the court tonight, not play on the NBA Cup court. Did it? Yeah, it was bad.
No, I felt it right away when I was warming up. It just felt weird, just like oily, slippery. Everybody was on the go, like floor literally every second. So, but yeah, finally they I don't know, they fixed it.
So they're gonna send it back to fix it. So.
Just the courts, please. No, of course, it's just slippery, it's dangerous.
so when the Lakers or Luka Doncic says, hey, change the courts, they're slippery. Now all of a sudden the NBA is sending the courts back. So when the Lakers say something, the whole world stops. And now we got to change it for the Lakers. But everybody else complained and it was shut up and play. Just shut up and play. So you can tell who the agenda is for. They don't even hide it. So if you're going to continuously go down this road of pushing the narratives, in other words, if you're going to continue to push the narratives and go down this fray, what are we doing it for? Like, what is the purpose? I don't understand the plan. What's the end game here? Mainly because I don't understand it. Luka winning MVP. Well, if he could stay healthy enough, if he qualifies and plays 65 games, he would have been MVP. But now he is the face of the league. And you see where he's ending up. Mm-mm. Yeah, it all disappear when LA get exposed. That's all I'm waiting on. That corrupt game, the corrupt football game I just watched today with the Colts, and that Dolphins game that just ruined my entire evening. Yeah. Well, you want to always make sure you're in a situation that you can deal with, contain, move on, etc. Right? 2026 champions, bet on it. I said people all at the beginning of the year, I had the Knicks versus the Lakers in the NBA Finals. Why? Because that's what they want to do. Now, I don't have the Knicks beating the Toronto Raptors tonight. If they do win, it'll be close. So if you want to pick, there's a pick for you. I don't like making bets and getting ripped off right at the end. I can't stand it. So by a half a point, I lose about $2,000 by a half of a point. That makes me upset and irate. But tonight I'm in a dilemma against these Pelicans. Do I bet on the Lakers and take the 13 and a half, or do I not bet on the Lakers? Well, when you start going down that friendly road, you're going to start to see things go down the rails that you didn't even expect. For instance, the Los Angeles Lakers has had every favorable call in the world. Okay. Yeah, they don't like me talking about the NBA anymore. The NBA doesn't. Now, for the season, it's been 20 games. The only reason I think Luka has played in 14 games. So this is the only reason Luka Doncic isn't number one, is that he played in 14 games. Shea has played in all 20 games. So he has the most attempts. Yes, 2001. Well, 201. Feel like 2000. But Shea has 201 free throw attempts. Luka is at 172, and he's played in 14 games. He's already fourth. So that means all of these game players have played about more games than Luka Doncic. He's played in 14 games this year because he's already missed like a week of basketball due to a lot of this nonsense, right? Then everything changes again, as it always does. The narratives start to change. Mm. Well, let's talk precision. Assist to turnover ratio. Davion Mitchell has the best assist to turnover ratio. You don't see any Lakers up here, do you? You see Shea up here. So everybody talk about his free throws. His assist to turnover ratio is pretty high and pretty good. Where are the Lakers? Do you see any Lakers on this list? Because their assist to turnover ratio is absolutely terrible. You don't see a Laker in the top 50. Luka is 50. There it is. Luka Doncic is 50. Hell, Cade is 49. So, that's why LeBron says he doesn't care about assist to turnover ratio. It doesn't mean anything now. Steals to turnover ratio. The guy the Lakers want to get. And believe me, they want him to get him on the Lakers. And at the trade deadline, if you see Keon Ellis, who's number one in steals and turnovers on the Los Angeles Lakers for Vanderbilt and a couple other bums, you're going to start to understand something. You're going to say, Sino, you was right again. Because they're going to do their fire sale coming up in Sacramento. And if he ends up, because they got to get rid of Keon Ellis, because they're not going to pay him. So unless you lose him at the end of the year for nothing, or you pay him. Duncan Robinson, who's actually been a plus in this category, he's actually 8 in steals to turnover ratio. Kawhi Leonard is 29th, and he only played 10 games. Davion Mitchell. Shea is at 32. Where are the Lakers? Even the rookie is 47. VJ. Cooper Flag is 50. Where are the Lakers? No Lakers in these categories. You know why? Because this category involves defense. Sorry. Marcus Smart is on the list. He's at 31. So, yeah, Marcus Smart is 31. Now, you won't see a Laker on this list. Nobody wants to be on this list. Who leads in personal fouls. Wendell Carter is number 1 in personal fouls. Jaren Jackson Jr. is number 2. Keyshawn George is number 3. Onika from Atlanta, Ogongu. Then Draymond Green is at 5th. Jaden McDaniels. Then Karl Anthony Towns is 7th. They love to throw the flag on them. Cade Cunningham, 17 at 12. Scotty Barnes, 9. Devin Booker, Devin Bain, Isaiah Jackson. See, these are the players they don't like. Jaylen Brown, AJ Green. These are the people that they have written down saying you could just blow the whistle on. Davion Mitchell, the Joker, Rudy, Ryan Collins, Beef, Beef Stew. I thought he would be higher. Jalen Duren, Jeremiah Graham, Pascal Siakam, Dylan Brooks, Shoebox, Royce O'Neal. They damn sure flag Royce O'Neal for everything. So if you got a parlay, that's risky with Royce O'Neal. They're going to flag him out the game. Nurkic, yep, Matthias, Brucellas, who don't foul anybody. I'm like, I haven't seen Brucellas foul anybody. Shugon, yep. Harkenstein, Terrence Mann. Where are the Lakers? Where's Jackson Hayes? You see what I'm saying? If this isn't corruption, what are we doing here? This is complete corruption. Yeah, it's crazy. So how are the Lakers winning? It's free throws. That's why. It's all free throws. Luka has so far Luka has 492 points. 138 is from free throws. He's actually hit. He shot 172 free throws in 14 games and has hit 138. 172. 138 points is from free throw. He's almost touching Shea at 201. Shea Alexander got 179 points, but he has 657 because he's played in 20 games. He hasn't missed a game. Luka has played in 14. He's missed 6 games already to start the year. And already has 138. So what's happening? He's the only player on this list that has another player right next to him, and Austin Reeves, who they want to make a superstar, an undrafted player they're going to try to make into a superstar, to be the number 2 on the Lakers, 2 white guys. 141, and he's only played in 15 games because he had an injury. So he's only played 1 more game than Luka, and he has 428 points. Luka has 492, but he has 428, and he got 124 off the free throw line and shot 141 free throws. They have Austin Reeves ranked over Tyrese Maxey, Cade Cunningham, Jeremiah Grant, Julius Randle, Keontae George, and Nikola Jokic. And rank. This is insane. Completely insane. So if you're thinking about these statistic farmers who love to preach statistics, this is why it falls apart. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing though. Shea Alexander is, you might say he's number one in free throws, but he's also number one in making field goal shots because his mid-range game is crazy. And it's just the turnover ratio is good, so he backs it up. So Luka Doncic should be up in here, right? If Luka's up there in free throws, he should be up here in field goal makes, right? We're 10. See, Cade is up here in field goal makes because he don't get a lot of free throw attempts. But, oh, here's Luka, 18. So you're not making a lot of field goals because you're taking a lot of dumbass shots. Let's go back up. Shea's number one. I haven't really seen Butterball this year. I see him up there at 10th in field goal makes this season. He's played in 16 games. Austin Reeves is 29. And DeAndre Ayton is at 46. Karl Anthony Towns is 38. Well, if you want to talk about in minutes per game, nobody plays more than Devin Booker. Book plays every game, and he plays almost 40 minutes a night. So the next person would be Tyrese Maxey. Maxey has played an overdrive of minutes. The backup doesn't get half of the time on the floor as Maxey. Miles Bridges from Charlotte is third. Franz from Orlando is next. James Harden has been playing monstrous minutes at 35, which is nuts. It's not going to help the Clippers out, but they have no choice. They seem depleted because they have spent all their money grabbing a bunch of spare parts. Ryan Hollins in Milwaukee, Brandon Ingram in Toronto is next. Cooper Flack, as a rookie, is playing heavy minutes. In the second half of the season, this will show its effect because Cooper Flag is definitely somebody who they're going to need down the stretch. And as you can see, this has not been something that he's good at. Look at this list. Scotty Barnes. Ugh. Now, one thing you don't see is large minutes by any other team. You don't see Kevin Durant on here. You see Joker for Denver at 15. Shea plays, he's 12. But other than that, you don't see Kevin Durant. You don't see Steph Curry. You don't see Golden State Warriors players in there with minutes. You don't see a Laker for minutes. That's been a plus for them because they're usually very high in minutes. But like I said, it's early. No, most people never got to a certain level because they never got to a certain level because they knew exactly what was at stake. Mm-hmm. Now, no, man, this NBA Cup thing is a disaster. And the problem is that the league doesn't know it. Well, they trying to force it to happen because they say, well, the ratings are going up. People like this cup. No, it's sponsored now by Emirates, the international jet. So to see their international players represent this cup, that's what's important to them. So if they have this continuously going down, then there'll be no wiggle room. There's no deception. There's no interpretation of this is the wrong idea or this is the last game plan or last resolve that we need to go down. Like this policy has changed dramatically. And because of those factors, we have to consider there's a lot of options that we could take, but going in a different direction. So that's what usually happens in these situations. It don't get better, it get worse before it even come close to getting better. They were independent when they made those decisions. You see, that's what people don't get or garnish or understand is that when people make certain decisions, they do them independently of everybody else's thoughts. But in the NBA, it's a collective group idea that this is what we're going to promote. Now, Adam Silver has been in charge of this NBA Cup thing. This is his baby. So, because this is Adam Silver's baby, and no one even remembers who won it last year, or they remember when LeBron won it for a half second, no one cares. They hung up a garbage banner that's supposed to be up there. The players don't like it. They were like, we will not hang up that banner. Next thing you know, Adam Silver's like, no, you're hanging up a banner. Tells you whose show it is. This is his mess to fix. Well, it goes like this. If you believe it enough, they will support it enough. You ever heard that phrase? If you believe, they'll support it enough. So, That's right. So if you believe it enough, they will support it enough. Now, as this world turns, it's not like they're going to put their finger on it, stop and say, what player we got there, that's who's going to win the cup. No. The people that are going to win the cup are the people they program to win the cup. And because they program them to win the cup, nobody in this world is going to tell them anything different. Now, when you start to make yourself a success or put yourself in a position to win by doing better by yourself, for yourself, with the idea of moving forward and being productive, then you start moving the envelope forward instead of backwards. You have a lot of people who are what we call detractors, and they try to detract away from your fame. They try to detract away from your existence because they know what you're saying is true. It's just that they have to follow a program because of their relationships they have in the business. They can't tell you the truth. They got to lie to you. So all of these people have their own faiths and beliefs of what they represent, and they all for one company. Meaning the NBA is set up with people who have their own beliefs in what direction they want to go in, but they all work for the same company. So it's like all of them have their own gods, and they all meet together to decide which is the best route to go pertaining to their God that they worship. Right? So with that being said, we look at the parameters as what laid before us. Adam Silver, his thing is philanthropy. He's using that thing, philanthropy, and to find his new god, which is mammoth, money. NBC, their thing is forget philanthropy. We want entertainment, exposure, family, fun. Main goal, viewership. They want more viewers. Mammoth. Because they want the money also. But the money will come with the viewers. So this whole thing is to push streaming over to the Peacock app. So you push it to the Peacock app. This is what NBC's plan is. Now we get more people and viewership and subscribers to the Peacock app. Now it expands and the mammoth will come. Mammon, or whatever they call their financial god. Now, everyone seems to have their own identity of what they want to praise, what they don't. The NBA took a poll and it came back 27% said that the NBA Cup is a good idea. 27%. They said, wipe the whole poll. It's early. It's like everything we do. No one really likes it at first. Then they say that later on they start loving it, right? So it just takes time. You're not in the time business, Adam Silver. You're in the right now. Not the time business. Okay? You're not dealing with time. You're dealing with a reality. And that reality is very clear. If you do not make changes for this league to become better, you're going to fall behind it. Everyone out here knows it. You're the problem. You have been the problem because you don't understand the game of basketball. You're not supposed to mess with the integrity of the game. You have people confused, like Draymond Green, that today's athletes are better than the athletes of the past because they're blinded by two different games. If you put Steph Curry into that league, he's dog meat. If you put any of these players into that NBA, they're dog meat. You can't tell me in a league where it is more physical that you have better players there. Oh man, what could Charles Oakley or Anthony Mason do against somebody who's skinny and athletic? Knock his ass to the 5th row and put him on the free throw line. That's what he could do. And then after he does that, we're gonna see how comfortable he's gonna be when he drives the lane for a dunk and he see a defender coming at him, and he's like, "Oh well, he can't do nothing to me." Woof! And he's taken out of the air one time. We want to see where his mental psyche is after he takes that hit. Oh, it's gonna be a cold day for these people. It's gonna be a cold reality shower. They're two different leagues, okay? That's why you can't compare them. This is a whole new era, whole new league, cupcake, Adam Silver league. Nobody wanted to watch it. Draymond, this is where me and you're gonna collide. Your lack of knowledge of the past, because one, you're too young. You just don't know. And if you were smart enough, you would understand. You were in that locker room when the 2004 Pistons won the championship. You was in the locker room of that team. None of your players could withstand that. And that was 2004. Okay? That's 2004. Do you want to go back to the 90s? That's a whole different league. These are two different leagues. Okay? It's why I kept picking Tyson Fury and winning money, because Tyson Fury, though Wilder could knock him out if he hits him, once you hit that, once he knocked him down that time, once Tyson Fury got up, he was never going to really lose to that guy ever again. Because he knew, I just got to take away his right hand. Wilder doesn't have a left hook. And if you're a skilled boxer, you know, I could really do some damage. Now, the thing is, if you put everything in perspective, put it on the table, slide it across the table and say, hey, this is what I want you to look at. Yeah, sometimes skills beat physicality. Sometimes somebody's physicality can overtake someone's skill. So, because Wilder beat a lot of guys that's way more experienced than him, because he was losing a lot of the rounds, it's just that he had an eraser, that power. And the person be... So sometimes physicality can overtake skill and agility and ability. Now, back then, teams were more unified. It was more about team. If they weren't on your team, F you. That was the mentality. That was the mentality. So if you weren't on the same team as somebody, the mental aspects was a lot different. They were entirely different. So when people start to make claims that, oh, this was this way because of this, oh, this was that way because of that. No, you are playing in a dangerous minefield that you don't want to be in. So get out of that plane altogether, because it's not beneficial to you. It never was, and it's never going to be. Now, let's take a look back. We have all of these different things that have been designed to help us excel, and it has taken us back to the Stone Age. Why is that? It's because they never made a plan for it to be successful. The plan was to make money. Keep altering it as much as you can. Now the All-Star game is like a circus weekend. Nobody knows what it's going to be next year. And imagine you're a rookie coming in and you have this dream of playing in the All-Star game, being out there with and then your first All-Star game is like this. And they was like, Cade, man, it's like, we want to apologize to you. Last year was the Steph Curry circus, and nobody knows what that was last year. Then they were having a decision that should we even cancel it because people don't want to play. They don't want to play. The players want to show up and have a good time. You do that for the past 2 days. They give you like a week off. Something they've never done for any other team in the league. But you get a week off. And you still can't play? Y'all got to do better. I'm going to talk about you later, Draymond.